Hi, my name is Chris Pollock and I'm out in Eagan, Minnesota. This is my friend Bill Wadzink and his 72 Plymouth Satellite. Bill was born in 73, bought his first car in 89 when he was 16. It was a fully loaded 72 Plymouth Satellite Sebring Plus. It had a 400 big block, a 4-barrel carb, slapstick 727, AC, bucket seats, rally dash. About 4 years later, Bill decided to make his car his own, so he threw some center lines under it, did some body work, brought it down to bare metal in areas, and went with a bright yellow paint job, added a scoop, hood pins, blacked out the hood, and added a gull-wing. Bill was diagnosed with stage 3 invasive squamous cell carcinoma, which was spreading to his lymph nodes and neck in early 21. On top of the physical pain and anguish while he was fighting cancer, since Bill couldn't get behind the wheel, there was a lot of pain of not being able to unwind with some throttle therapy. With chemo treatments and pain patches, he was unable to drive a car safely, so his wife Carrie drove him to where he needed to go with all of his appointments. Treatments began around February 21 for about 7 weeks. It included some high-dose weekly chemo, 35 radiation treatments, 5 days a week. He was in some serious pain with difficulty swallowing, so fast forward to about late March, he was done with all of his treatments. Now Bill had to start healing and still had to go to the hospital 3 times a week for IV hydration due to the inability to stay hydrated normally. He had high-dose pain patches. Bill couldn't drive for over 6 months, but after Bill heard from the doctor of how long it was going to take to wean him off the pain patches for 6 to 8 weeks, he decided that's far too long, and with car season starting here in the Midwest with the better weather, it was on May 28th where he decided to remove his pain patch cold turkey. He had 72 hours worth of withdrawal detox symptoms that he felt was well worth it, even when all was said and done. By the end of June, his PET scan showed remission. Bill won the battle. Even though he lost about 70 pounds, he really had to focus to prevent choking when eating. He proved to his doctor that he wouldn't need to endure another day of using a feeding tube. Bill still struggles with fatigue that makes everyday things take much longer. Now that he was starting to feel better, Bill was chilling in the garage just admiring his car when he realized, the car's paint was starting to show its age after about 28 years with bubbling, rock chips, and general wear and tear. Bill decided to freshen up his Satellite in the fall of 21, so he enlisted one of his buddies to freshen it up for him. He put new quarter panels, removing the engine, repainting both the engine and engine compartment to look the same as the exterior, repainting the entire car. Unfortunately, on February 24th, 2021, just about 2 days after Bill's 49th birthday, the car was about a week away from final paint. A welding accident caused something to catch fire and burnt the entire shop down, including his car. Bill was devastated. It took him a while to come to terms with what happened before he could really think about getting things straightened out with insurance over the next several months, since he felt that they were lowballing him with the value of the vehicle. Meanwhile, in late March, Bill and Carrie found a car similar to the one he lost, so they drove all the way out to New York with a truck and a trailer to pick it up. It was also a 72 Plymouth Satellite Sebring Plus. The car was identical as far as engine and transmission options, with the only differences being the color of the car's exterior and the color of the interior. This car is in true survivor condition, all original, maybe even down to the tie rods and ball joints. It really wasn't modified at all, so Bill's plan was to clone his old car with version 2.0. Bill finally came to an agreement with insurance, which included buying back his old car from the insurance company. There was no saving the car due to the amount of metal fatigue from the fire. It was a complete loss, but he couldn't just throw it away and have it crushed. He's owned that thing since he was 16. Bill wanted to give his first car one final send-off by bringing it to Mopars in the Park. It's a big show in Minnesota, so he hasn't missed one of these in decades. So he made a couple of storyboards to put beside the car, and it seemed to really touch a lot of people's hearts and everything, and it kind of helped Bill with some of his healing process from the loss of his car. So Bill's plan was to make his car into his old car, but due to the fatigue, he really hasn't recovered from it yet, so it's really frustrating for him. Due to his series of events, and Bill being a hell of a nice guy, this is why I think Bill would be a great candidate for the Garage Squad to come help him out with the project. Thanks for your consideration. Have a good one.